Well, hello everybody. My name Christopher Not Walking. This is Dirty Nerdy Show, and we are here today. Very special guest. Now I'm going to describe her in a few words. All right, but it's going to take a minute because she's a lot. Okay, so kind, patient, caring, unconventional, artist, like looks like Frivy. Um, yeah. Everybody, welcome Lisa ASMR to the show.
Hey everyone, you got me smiling over here, Melton.
Man, I tell you what, I didn't stick the landing on that intro. I knew where I was gonna take off, didn't know where I was gonna land, but we got to the ground safely, and
Yes,
we're here, and it is the Dirty Nerdy Show, and Lisa is here. So, let's just jump right in this. You're very different from everyone else. What inspired you to do ASMR differently? Um,
uh,
it's just
yeah.
it's so not the usual like what everyone else does, and I love that.
Oh, thank you so much. So about 4.5 years ago, my co-creator, we went to the same college together, and he was actually my boyfriend at the time's roommate. And he was like, you have a really relaxing voice. You should make ASMR videos. Like we can create a channel. And I didn't know what ASMR was. I thought he was just joking with me. So I never brought it up again. I went to work and I was working in retail at the time. And a customer was like, you have a really soothing voice. And I was like, okay, so maybe he wasn't joking. So I went back to him and I said, well, if you're being serious, like I'd be down to try it out and everything.
Yeah.
So we started it up. And I don't like to whisper at all. It's not my thing. I feel like it's hard to hear me. My family used to know me as a mumbler, so I did normal voice, and my co-creator, doesn't like whispering either. It's not a trigger for him. So we started out as like breaking the barriers of ASMR and like saying, you don't have to whisper to get tingles.
Yeah.
And then now, like people are like requesting things and everything, and when it's like new to my channel and as long as it's within my boundaries, um I like to call myself like a pioneer in ASMR and do new things, and I find it really fun.
Yeah, man. Just doing all of the different shit, man. Let me tell you, man. I saw her one of her videos, man. She like turns on the radio in the middle of it, and I'm like, this is bizarre. I love it. Like it's so different from everyone else, and that is a breath of fresh air because the community has grown so much over the past like 5 or 6 years, and so it's almost become formulaic at points, and this isn't a knock on anyone. I wish nothing but success to everybody who does this, but like
Mhm.
um it gets a little formulaic, and you're just like, no, dude.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely times where I'm self-conscious of about my content because like you said, like it's not what everyone else does. So, you got people with the really fancy equipment,
Yeah.
the people who are perfectionists, people who don't have any sound whatsoever other than them. And here I am with two dogs who likes to make sure that they're known in the videos half the time. And I'm recording with a camera. And I'm just like, okay, let's just be friends and be chill because I have no green screen. You're going to be in my messy room and let's do this. So it makes me nervous, especially when I met ASMR Shani and Bethany Midwest ASMR for the first time, because they're very they want things to be perfect, which is awesome because their videos are amazing
Yeah.
and they were amazing to work with. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if they're gonna like me because here I am, little on me, who just uses the phone and is just like super laid back and chill and doesn't mind if my dog walks through. But it was really awesome.
See, that's super cool though, and Shani is great. Shani is everybody knows Shani on this show. She's one of our co-hosts and took over for a little bit while I was not well.
Oh, so nice of her.
Yeah.
And that's not good that you weren't doing well.
Well,
But I'm
it happens. It's cripple stuff, So, I was not well, and I didn't want the channel to fade to
yeah.
whatever obscurity. So, I was like, Shani, come do the show, and she did the show, and she was great at it.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you're doing better.
Oh yeah, I'm doing great, man. Let me tell you, but this isn't about me. Um, this is about you, and one thing that I really wanted to touch upon is you are super patient. You work a lot in mental health, and I
Mhm.
know that has to take patience. I want to know where that interest in mental health came from, and I would like to know where that patience come from, because that's like amazing to me. Because
Well, thank you.
I'm not a very patient person.
My sister would say I'm not very patient either, but it's just like with family, it's a little bit different just because they know what pushes my buttons, and people who aren't family, they don't try and push my buttons because they don't know what my buttons to be pushed. So I
Yeah.
have a lot more patience. But I got into the psychology field because when I was little, my mom worked for my grandpa's his secretary, and he was a psychologist, and he had his own practice. And he would have me and my sister bring the patient charts to him. And I always wondered, I was like, oh, what's he doing? And I found out he was helping people. Well, when I was 6 years old, I lost him, my best friend, and my mom in 30 days.
Oh my
And
god.
yeah, all for different reasons. And it was just like, I wanted to follow in his footsteps. I wanted to make him and my mom proud. And I also went through a lot more, I'm going to censor myself, a lot more crap
You don't have to
in
censor
my life.
yourself. It's the Dirty Nerdy Show. You can swear if you want.
I went through a lot more shit than most people my age still have gone through, and most people I hope will never ever go through. And I won't get into it because I don't want it to be like a depressing show or whatever. But it's just it was really shitty situations at different parts of my life, and it was hard. But
Well,
it allows me to be very adaptable and be able to relate to a lot of people and show empathy. So I think that's also why I have a lot of patience.
that's amazing. So you go through all of this stuff, right? And just tragedy after tragedy, and you come out with the the will and the urge to help others. That's tremendous. I don't think have you ever like taken like a moment to like step back and like look at it and be like, wow, I really did something here.
When I got this job as a substance abuse counselor, I finally allowed myself to have that moment just because I've worked really hard to finally get into my field. And I did work as a behavioral therapist with a child with autism, which was a very rewarding job just to see a child he was a very early learner when he should have been much more advanced, and to teach him how to feed himself and go up the stairs and down the stairs without crying or like not moving at all because he didn't know how to. That was extremely rewarding. But to actually be able to become a counselor to people who would be able to speak to me because my patient was nonverbal, um, it was it was amazing because I literally would break down after interviews that I knew just didn't go well, or because I was playing phone tag with a really well renowned place that I got a job at. But since we were playing phone tag, they ended up giving the job to someone else. And it was just a huge relief to have this job. And I was like, you know what? I worked my ass off. I actually deserve this. And I'm so proud of myself.
Hell yeah. And you're great. And I'm gonna talk about something personal for me. This is how nice Lisa is. Everybody knows. Well, not everybody. I've definitely had substance issues in the past. I guess you could say I still do because it never really goes away. But
Mhm.
but the other day I was like I was not feeling myself, and she could kind of tell, and and she, talked to me and stopped me from, doing something really dumb and using, and I am so grateful to Lisa for that. People don't know how just incredibly kind this woman is, and I really wanted to get that across, at least at some point in some small way in this interview.
You're gonna make me cry. I don't do happy tears, but oh my gosh, like you make me feel so like you're too nice, Chris. Like I would hope anyone would do that, but I do want you to know I'm always here for you if you ever need to reach out because I don't want you ever to have to go back to that.
Oh, well, thank you so much. It really does mean a lot to me. Um, Switching gears really quick.
Mm-hmm.
Psycho stalker role play. You was a little too good at that, girl. Um, you know,
It was fun.
you was a little too good at that. I'm a little scared. Okay.
Well, I love like serial killers and everything. I want to be forensic psychologist so I can get inside their brains. So to be able to
Oh my
like
god.
portray that was awesome.
Oh my god. Do you watch like a lot of like true crime stuff?
Like on Netflix and everything. I
Yeah.
have been. Yeah.
I watch that, and then there's a show called BuzzFeed Unsolved, right, where they talk about like unsolved like crimes and stuff.
Oh, I saw that and I wanted to get into it. Is it good?
Oh my god, it's so good, and it's actually
Oh,
funny considering the subject matter. Um, it's really good. The hosts are great. And I don't know. I love stuff like that. I love like watching like true crime stuff, and it's a bit of a morbid thing, but
mhm.
it's, I don't know. Somehow in my brain, I'm like, well, my life might be shit right now, but I'm doing better than them because I'm alive. So
Yes. That's exactly how it is. But it's like, I mean, I'm I'm interested into morbid because like it's how because as you've touched on, like I'm very open to people, so I'm more susceptible of like being mindful of their emotions. So to not care about someone and to put them through so much torture, like how gruesome can we get on here?
we can get pretty gruesome.
Okay, so I was reading an article on Snapchat last night, and there was a inmate named I think Jamie Osana or something like that,
Hmm.
and he had a little metal thing, and he cut off his cellmate's fingers, and then cut out his eye, and then cut out part of his lung. And I'm like, how? Like, how can you physically do that without stopping yourself?
Yeah.
And I just can't figure that out. Like, it's so interesting to me.
Is it like? Do you think? I don't know. There's there's all sorts of different types of criminals. See why I don't like telling the subjects beforehand, because we wouldn't have went on this path. You see what I mean?
Nope.
Um, do you think that in because it's there's different kinds of criminals, right? So
Mhm.
do you think that with all right, I'm trying to think of how to the best way to put this. Uh, with all these different types, like there's different, like shit wrong with these people, right?
Yeah.
Um, so like, do you ever wonder like why they are the way they are, like the brain chemistry of it?
Yeah, I was actually reading into dissociative identity disorder because I recently watched Split, and I wanted to know because in the movie it says like one of the personalities required to have insulin while the other ones didn't. And I'm like, can the brain really do that to physically change your I don't know the correct term, but like physically change you inside to be different
Yeah,
for one moment than other moments. And then it's like, concussions can completely change your personality. You can be a completely different person if it hits you just the right way.
That's true. Look at a lot of those football players, like that guy who used to be on the Patriots that ended up killing somebody and then ended up killing
Mm-hmm.
himself in prison.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And that's just from getting hit in the head a bunch, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the brain is like super duper fragile. Um,
Yeah, we don't take care of it well enough.
no, no, we don't. And yeah, so like true crime. What else fascinates you about the criminality? That whole like aspect of like psychology.
Yeah, honestly, I'm huge on like motivations and behaviors. So it would be really interesting to actually work on crimes and be able to pick out similar behaviors and what's the same in scenes and what causes a person to be a copycat uh, killer. And I don't know, I just find it really cool.
I think because I watch a lot of true crime stuff. I think with the copycats, it's somebody who's already on that path, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's someone who wants the notoriety of that, because in their minds they're like getting all this attention from this thing. That's why a lot of serial killers do things purposely to get caught. um
Mm-hmm.
you know so I think it's something like that.
I think, after you said that, I think you're right. It's pretty genius.
No, I'm not no genius. I'm just a little low cripple me.
Don't be humble.
Well, Kendrick said sit down, be humble, and I'm already sitting down, so I got to be humble.
I love it. I love how like you just are so in tune with your whole lifestyle. It makes your life fun.
Well, yeah, I mean, what am I going to do, run from it? That's not happening.
Yeah.
I don't have legs. So uh I embrace it, because you have, well, with disability, you have two options, right? You can
Hmm.
sit and sulk and like never get anything done, but that's not fun for me. I've never been a sulky type person. Um, or you can just embrace it and make it a part of you, but not make it you. Um,
Hmm.
and that's really what I try to do. I try to make people understand. I make the jokes, of course, because I want people to be comfortable with disability and all of that, and accepting of it. But it's really just a small, like, let's put it this way: like, I have a lot of problems. Being in a wheelchair is like the least of them. Um,
Yeah.
so that's really the way I view it. I mean, there are bigger problems in the world, and um, there are people with bigger problems than me that are fully, uh, you know, like physically able to do whatever. And why should their problems be any less, than mine? So I don't. I've never been the type to be like, oh, feel sorry for me.
You just kind of touched upon what I tell some of my patients.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they'll start to tell me something and then they might stop and they'll be like, no, it's fine, it's nothing big. And I'm like, well, obviously it is big because it's affecting you. And just because you might think it's small to someone else doesn't mean it's not something big because it matters to you. So it is big.
Yeah, like we all have different experiences. We all have different um lives and different paths in life. And I think that um mine definitely shaped me, but somebody else, that they might have, they might not be built the same way, so they might take
Mhm.
other things and take other things like a lot harder than, let's say, like I would, because like I've been to hell, came back, I'm good. Like
Yeah.
uh
You've been through a lot.
and I think same with you, and I think that's one of the reasons why you're so good with helping people. And I think that I want to know how that influences how your job influences what you do in ASMR, because there's a connection there.
Yeah. So as some people know, I love bringing psychology into ASMR
Oh yeah.
because I just started my psychology or my counseling sessions series. Um, I just recently done a role play that I haven't uploaded yet because I'm having my co-creator edit it. It's actually the viewer counseling me as an ASM artist. Um,
Oh yeah.
and yeah, and it's just I think it's very important to have the viewer feel part of the video, not just like watching it like a TV or whatever, you know? So I try and bring out that warmth and positivity in my videos so they can feel comfortable and relaxed.
Yeah, participation ribbon, man.
Yes.
Yep. So, what was one of your favorite videos to make? Because you've got a lot. You create a lot. Um, Sometimes you upload like two, three, four a day. Um,
Yeah.
what were some of your favorites to make?
Um, that's really difficult. Like I kind of lately I've been having a really bad attention span. So if I'm just like focusing on just like doing one trigger and I'm trying to make the whole video just one trigger, I'm like, okay, I can't do this. Like I need to switch it up. So I would probably say when I'm doing something new. So like when I did my You're Fired role play, I loved it because I've never done anything like it.
Yeah.
Um, I really enjoyed doing the psycho crazy stalker roleplay because no one expected it from me. No one thought I could pull it off. And it was really fun and it was really enjoyable. But I also really enjoy like doing videos where I just like talk about my personal life so they can have a better view of who I am and what I've been through because they share so much of their lives with me
Yeah.
and I literally view them as a family. So I just want to do the same in return.
Yeah. And also, I think when you're a little bit more open like that, um,
Mm-hmm.
one of the dangers I've noticed, right,
Mm-hmm.
of ASMR is people will get attached to an artist, right?
Oh
And
yeah.
then they form a relationship in their brain, and it's not really the artist, it's what the artist is portraying. So it's not really them. And then,
Mm-hmm.
people can get a little clingy. And I think the more transparent, the more open people are, I think the more that people will see that these are real people and they have
Mm-hmm.
real lives and real loved ones and real, like real lives. And I think that definitely curbs a lot of that.
Oh yeah, I do my best because like sometimes like I have people will think that I'm mad because I don't respond, and I don't know if you noticed or not, but like I do my best to respond to every person.
Oh my
Uh,
God, let me tell you. In the chat, right, when she goes and streams, right, she'll be like, she wants to like read everything, so she's like scrolling up, right, and she's like reading like things that are like 5 minutes in the past, and I'm like, this is a window into the past right here, like that's. I'm sitting in there and I'm talking to Richie. I'm like, we've moved on.
Yeah, it's just like I know that when I'm a viewer and I leave comments on other people's stuff, and when they reply to me, it does fill me with warmth. I'm like, oh my gosh, they actually took a moment out of their day to acknowledge my existence to say something back to me. So, since they're actually spending their time watching me when they don't even have to, I want to make sure that I acknowledge them if I can and if I'm able to. I mean, there are obviously days where I'm just like, you know what, I need a break. I'm tired of like looking at social media. Tired of looking at screens. I just need to stop. And I hope that they'll understand, but sometimes they don't. But life moves on.
Oh, dude, I get it, man. Sometimes you just need to like get a really big cheeseburger and watch Netflix and like
Yeah.
tell the world to like get fucked. Like,
Let me binge watch and just relax.
Yes, I'm gonna go get like a Philly cheesesteak, or I'm gonna go to Cookout, and then I'm just gonna watch like Hulu for like an hour, like
Let me just relax. Let me not be personable for one day.
yeah, man. Those are some of the best days for me. I find days when I sort of get away, and then
Mhm.
I come back and I'm charged with like creativity, and I just want to make stuff.
Yeah, you're rejuvenated. It's an amazing feeling.
Oh yeah. Um. So where do you get your inspiration from for your videos? Because you do so much.
Honestly, I just go with it. When I hit record, I if it's not a requested video, I am just like, okay, whatever happens, happens. Um, I'll like know what like. Oh, I'm gonna do like tapping things. Let me just grab random freaking things I find around the house. Or I'm laying on the pillow, I'm like, oh, this actually sounds really nice. Let me just record this.
Yeah.
But like for role plays, I just need like a basis of things, like a foundation to grow on. So like for the crazy psycho stalker thing, I actually read Codename Bongos, which is Ed Faulkner.
Ed, shout
Um,
out to Ed. Ed and I, we
yes.
have a pretend gay relationship, and it's so fun. We
I love
go
it.
we go into like Maddie ASMR streams on Twitch,
Mhm.
and we act as gay as possible because there's a lot of people that go to her chats that are like super freaking thirsty, and it's gross.
Oh my
So
gosh.
he and I, we gay it up as much as possible to sort of offset the creepiness.
That is so great.
uh,
Well,
and he's a married man, and I'm straight, but we don't care.
yeah,
Like,
that is awesome. He like tweeted that he wanted a stalker. And I was like, I tweeted back at him and said, be careful what you wish for, because I've had stalkers in my life and it was creepy. And then I was like, you know what? I was thinking in my head, I was like, that would actually be really fun to do a role
I
play.
think I saw that
So,
tweet.
yeah.
I saw that tweet, and I
So
was like, "What the fuck, Ed?" Like,
that night I did it. And with my personal experience, like I kind of went off that a little bit just because like when I was in high school, the kid who was stalking me would watch for when my family would leave the house and then come knock on my door, and I would always ignore it because he creeped me out. And then when I would leave to go visit family in Ohio, he would come to our house and leave presents with my parents to give, or with my dad and my stepmom to give to me when I got back. And
that's creepy.
yeah, one time it was a ring that had heart on it, and he was telling the neighborhood that we were getting married.
What?
And I was like, yeah, so that was the whole like, oh, here are the rings. We're getting married. That part was inspired from.
Oh God, that's crazy.
Yeah, but everything else from that was like completely like just improv.
I feel like for me, people are pretty comfortable around me because they know I would be like the worst stalker ever. I really would like I couldn't do it. Like all somebody would have to do is just go up a flight of stairs, and then I'm stuck. Like I can't follow. I have to just turn around and go home. Like
You wouldn't know what floor they got off, so an elevator wouldn't help much.
yeah, like I wouldn't know. It's too much energy, man. Like I'm not about that. Okay, I'm way too lazy to stalk people. I'm sorry.
You and me both.
This is fun. I'm having a lot of fun. What about you?
Oh, I'm loving this.
This is great. So what is some of your favorite music? I always ask music questions because before Dirty Nerdy, I used to do an internet radio show. It was a hip hop show, and so I love music, and as you know, I make music. So it's
Mhm.
it's probably like my biggest passion, next to hosting the show. Um,
Yeah,
so
before I answer, I apologize for that weird breathing. That was my dog and not me. I just want to clarify.
Oh, it's all good. We didn't even pick it up. You just went that brought it up.
Oh, well, I just outed her, so
Just outing the dog like
um,
that, man.
yeah, she's gonna hate me now. Honestly, yeah, you are a musical genius, by the way. I just want to touch upon that. I love the stuff that you've sent me so far.
Oh my god, thank you
Um,
so much.
you're welcome. So honestly, my musical tastes have changed a lot throughout the years. Like back in the day, I was like metalcore and rock. Now I'll listen to anything except for whiny country and pointless rap.
So you ain't about that Old Town Road?
No, I love Old Town Road. That's not whiny country.
Old Town Road is such a good song.
It is.
It's one of those songs. Yeah, of course it's a joke. Of course he's playing around, but it goes hard, son. Like,
Yeah,
ah.
it's so catchy. I told my sister, I was like, turn on this song, turn on Old Town Road. I did that yesterday, actually.
So, question, really quick. You said that you were into that like emo, like hardcore, like nerdcore thing back in the day, right? Um,
Yes.
so were you like an MCR girl with like the black makeup and like the black fingernail polish?
Okay, so I did like My Chemical Romance, but I have my stepmom was very, very strict with me. I owned two black shirts only, and she acted like my whole wardrobe was black. I wore black eyeliner once, and she's like, only tramps wear black eyeliner. So that got trashed.
Prince wore
Um,
black eyeliner. He wasn't a tramp.
well, supposedly in her eyes, he was. But I don't. The only makeup I wear is like eyeliner and mascara. But back then, I didn't because like I was like, oh, I don't know how to do this. Like I'm gonna probably stab my eyeball, except the very like 3, 4 times that I wore it in high school.
Were you a scene
But
kid?
I actually did self-inflict back
Oh,
in the day. But I promised myself I would only do it when I needed. This is going to sound so bad. This is going to sound so messed up. But I promised myself I'd only do it when I needed to be punished because I felt like a failure as a daughter, rather than to just cut because I love the feeling. Because that was my addiction,
yeah,
and that's how I can relate to my patients. Because like no one realizes that cutting is actually really addicting.
yeah.
Um, it just releases a warm feeling, and I like, I guess like a couple months ago, like I missed that feeling. It like came back to me, and I was like, I can't do it. That's why I have this tattoo to remind myself like I've come this far. It's been like 8 years. I just need to keep going. So
Yeah, and you didn't, and that's awesome.
yeah.
See, I try, with me, it's like, oh, um, with me, I don't really ever talk about this publicly, but if I'm gonna talk about it publicly with anyone, you're the perfect person.
Oh,
Um,
thanks.
uh, with me and with my whole addiction, I got addicted to pain pills. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it started. I've had 23 surgeries. Um,
Wow.
and it's one of those things. And I lost my aunt who raised me about 6 years ago. She had a massive heart attack right in front of me, and
Oh my
then
God.
and then about a year later, I got diagnosed with a heart condition called cardiomyopathy, which can be fatal. And
Mm-hmm.
so in my mind, it was like you're definitely gonna die, and so I started getting anxiety attacks, and then I started getting like depressed because I didn't want to get out of bed because I was too scared to get out of bed. And then
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I miss being happy, and I take these pills, for when I'm in pain from like all like the physical like surgeries and all of that. What if I take it when I'm a little sad, and maybe it'll numb that pain too? And that's how I got started. And it was a dangerous like slippery slope that I went down.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's so much to go through for one person. I can't believe that you went through all of that.
Mm. Yeah, but it's all good though.
You coming out on top? Because, like, I called you a warrior. You are definitely a warrior.
For real, man. You know, I'm coming out here. We doing dirty nerdy. We got Lisa ASMR up in here. You know, it's good.
Hey.
It's good, man. Life is great. I think one thing having spina bifida. That's why I'm in a wheelchair. Having spina bifida, being disabled, has taught me is just to have, you know, fun regardless. Life's gonna get shitty sometimes. But I think that the more that we sort of like face that down, and we're like, hey, um that sucks, but you know what doesn't suck? All of these other good things that I wouldn't trade
Yes.
at all. um you know that, and that's another reason why people, they often ask me, would you trade your life for someone that can like walk and, like, you know, be quote unquote normal? And I'm like, no. Like everything that I've gone through, everything that you know, all of that, the disability, everything, led me to who I am, and I like who I am. um you know, and I
Yeah.
don't want to change that, you know.
That makes you a very strong person to be able to say that and recognize that.
It took me a long time, but I'm there, and it's a good place to be.
That's so good. I'm glad. And
Oh
I can't wait to
yeah.
see everything that you do with your life.
I can't wait to see some more of these random cereal eating videos, by the way.
Oh, am I going to start eating people now?
Cause you did like a I don't know, like I feel like you were like, I'm gonna have lunch, and then you looked at your phone and you're like, I'm gonna make a video.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. I thought I was thinking serial killer. Serial eating.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, my co-creator's like, why don't you have more food videos? Because that seems to be a thing. And I was like, like usually when I eat food, I'm on the couch, which obviously y'all see, and I'm watching my shows, but I guess I can pause my shows and do a video.
Yeah, see, like I gotta, like, food with me, it comes with the TV. Like I can't like
Yeah, it's like my chill time.
it's like, so what are some of your shows that you watch?
So I binge watched The Sinner, Punisher. Um, I have yet to watch the last season of Supernatural or season 14 of Supernatural, because I always put off like the last season of it because I always feel like, oh, I don't want it to end. Um, Ted Bundy tapes.
That was
Oh,
so
Making a
crazy.
Murderer. Yes, it was. Like, how? And did you see Abducted in Plain Sight?
No, I haven't.
You need to watch that. Like, you're going to be so mad at the family.
Is it on
Uh,
Netflix?
yes, it's on Netflix.
I'm in.
And yes, did you see Making a Murderer?
I didn't see Making a Murder. I'm one of those people that's like, I skip the hype and then I watch it later.
Yeah. I mean, so the hype was a few years ago, so you can watch it now. I
Yeah.
didn't watch it for the longest time. And then I watched like the first episode or two, and I was like, this is kind of boring. But then I was like, you know what? Like, I have nothing else to watch. Let me go back and watch it. So I finished the first season, and by the time I finished it, I was like, this is just wrong. This is pissing me off. And then like, it made me feel so bad for them that I actually wrote both of them.
Oh
And
no. That's so.
I lost some I
That's,
lost some subscribers to it, which to me is fine. Like, I'm not huge on like watching my numbers because I know that will burn someone out.
yeah.
And I was like, okay, like if you want to not like me just because I'm writing people who I believe are innocent and are wasting their lives in prison because of being framed, whatever, do that. And then season 2 came out, and I immediately watched it, and I binged it so fast, and I got so livid.
Did you watch
And
the Amanda Knox story?
no, it's that.
The Amanda Knox story. She was a girl who got she was involved. Well, she wasn't involved. She got convicted of being involved in a murder in, I believe, Italy, and she was sent to prison. Didn't do it. Um, and they overturned her conviction and they released her. But they did a documentary on the crime and how it affected her and how people treated her, and especially the media after that whole thing went
Yes.
down.
It's crazy how much it changes a person, even if they're innocent, even to like their whole family too. It's so sad. Wait,
Yeah,
was she the one that was accused of killing her roommate in Italy?
yeah,
And it was like a boyfriend or something?
yeah. It wasn't even her. They convicted some other guy that was like not even like related to them.
Yep, then I know. I know it. I just am really bad with like remembering like names and stuff.
Yeah, I watched that like a few weeks ago, and I was like,
Is it on Netflix?
yeah, it's on Netflix. It's absolutely on Netflix. I
I'll
watched
have to
it,
check it out.
and I was like, wow, this is insane. Um,
All right, so I'm gonna watch that and you watch Making a Murderer.
I will absolutely, and we'll touch back on it. We got some fan questions.
Oh,
Um,
sounds good.
would you like to answer some fan questions?
Most definitely.
What future collabs do you have planned? And if you could collab with any artist, who who would it be? And what trigger would you use? Harmonious ASMR would like to know.
Um, I have actually two videos I've done with Shani that still need edited and put out. But we are planning to hopefully do a reunion with her and Bethany Midwest ASMR
Oh
because
yeah.
they're just so amazing to work with. Um, I would touch base with Irresistible ASMR. I don't know if any of y'all heard about him. If not, he's new to the game, but he's absolutely amazing. He has such great charisma, positive vibes. Like he even dances in his videos. It's just so adorable.
Oh yeah.
Um, so definitely check him out. But like we've talked about maybe collabing. I've also talked about collabing with, I think I'm probably gonna butcher her name and I feel so bad. Like Zara or Zara ASMR. She's in England.
Nice.
Um, yeah, but honestly, like I'm pretty much down to just do collabs with people because I really enjoy it. Didn't really even really think about it, but it's fun. Southern Sound, I think it's Southern Sounds ASMR.
Yeah.
I love her like CVS like shelving that. Like, I was super surprised at how relaxed I got. I was like, "There's no way I'm going to enjoy this. I feel like this is going to be like an infomercial." And then I was watching it, and I was like, "Holy cow! I'm so relaxed. I want to like do something with her."
Well, if you think about it, back in
And
the '90s, right? At late at night, what would be on TV? Infomercials. So it kind of makes
yeah,
sense that it would knock us out.
that's so true. Um, obviously, like Zeitgeist would be awesome.
Oh,
Uh,
every girl says Zeitgeist though.
he's just so like just the sounds, like how he does it. I
Yeah.
don't know how. It's just so calming.
He's a sound wizard
Uh,
for sure.
yeah, I was blown away. Honestly, like I couldn't believe it.
How did your collab
Um,
with Shani and Bethany come about?
we messaged her, me and my co-creator, and asked her if she'd be wanting to do it, and she said yeah. And we told her that we would go to her, and yeah,
Oh, that's so cool. So
yeah. And we didn't even know that Beth was going to be there. When we arrived, Shani was like, "Oh, so Beth is going to be coming later today." I was like, "Oh, cool." So it was a nice surprise.
that was a fun video to watch, and she was hype about it like the whole time. Um,
Yeah.
her and I are super close, so I knew about the plan like a little beforehand, and oh, that was such a good one. And it was great when you read my name because you had no idea who the fuck I was, and I could tell. And,
Mhm.
And that cracked me up. I was like, she don't even know who I am. This is great.
Oh yeah, like before this year, um, I kind of regret this. I wasn't really like I just pretty much just put out videos. Um,
Yeah.
because I like helping people, but I didn't really look into other artists or anything like that because not because like I didn't care or anything like that. It's just like I fall asleep so quickly.
Yeah.
I so but after collabing with Shani and her setting me up on Twitter and then seeing how like amazing the community was, I was like, oh my God, I've been missing out this whole time. Like, what have I been doing with my life? So I've been trying to make up for some lost time.
You could have been hanging out with us the whole time.
I know. I've been like, I could have known Krista forever. I could have had all these amazing people. I could have had all these collabs done. Like, what the hell did I do with my life? And I started that's and this year I started like watching ASMR videos from other artists and everything. So like when people ask me like who's my favorite artist, it's I don't know. But it's
Yeah, it's
not
hard,
because
isn't it?
like it is hard because I appreciate every single person for their own thing. Like for Shani, she goes in on her role plays.
Yeah, she
Like
do.
it's insane. I've never seen so much perfection.
Oh yeah,
Um,
for sure.
Bethany Midwest, like she is so serious in her videos, but she plays it off so well. And then in person, she's just this huge little sweetheart. And I'm like, oh, you're so down to earth and so cool. And it's so amazing because like you have these online interactions, and then if you're lucky, you get these real life interactions.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know, it's heartwarming.
Yeah, man. I tell you, and Shani is one of the greatest ever to do it, and she's great, and she doesn't always believe that she is, but that girl is going to be very, very huge. And
Oh yeah. I told her that. I was like, you're gonna explode so quick.
yeah,
I mean, she already is, honestly.
she is. She doesn't believe it, but I'm like, nah, dude. Like in like the role play like sphere, she's definitely one of the top notch artists.
Hmm.
She's, dare I say, GB level. Um,
Hmm.
you know, yeah, I said it, Shani. What you gonna do about it? Deal with it. Um, fight me. um, but yeah, she's great, and you're great, and this has just been amazing, and I really do appreciate you taking the time out. We ran a little long today, and it's all good
Our test failed.
because you're worth it. And with
You.
with that in mind, let's tell the people where they can find you on social media now that you partake in social media.
Yeah, now that I'm actually a person that exists in the ASMR community now.
Yeah,
So obviously YouTube, you can find me at Lisa ASMR, but you can also find me at Lisa ASMR on Instagram. I do have a Facebook, but I'm thinking about deleting it just because I feel like it's unfair for me to have it and not be present on it. And then on Twitter, I'm Lisa ASMR2, the number 2, because I guess there's already a Lisa ASMR on there.
yeah, but you're the best, Lisa ASMR.
Oh,
So I don't
I
know who
try.
this other pretender is,
She can get off.
but she need to get the fuck off and step the fuck off the name, son. Copyright that shit, homie.
Yes. Feel like you need to start paying up if you're gonna use my name.
Like exactly. Like one thing I love about my name is it's so out there that no one else has it. Like
Yes.
but guys, listen. Lisa is the dopest ever, the kindest ever, and we adore her. And you got to come on the show sometimes. Maybe we could do like an in-person collab someday. That would be great. And
Yes, I'll have to travel to you one day.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. We got great stuff in my city. I think you'll like it. And then I think yeah, go subscribe to Lisa ASMR. Links will be down below as always. Guys, thank you so much for listening today. That's Lisa ASMR. I'm Christopher Not Walking. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, comment, tell us who you want next, even though I already know who I have next on the show. But pretend that I don't have one lined up, and and let us know who you want on, and we will see you in the next video. This is TDNS. I'm Christopher Not Walking. That's Lisa ASMR. This is Dirty Nerdy, and we is out of here.